Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I know everyone's doing well, and everything is unfolding absolutely perfectly. I'm excited yet again because my next guest is a grief counselor, life coach, and a whole lot more. And even if I don't know about the whole lot more, I always am going to say that because we are all much more than the titles that we give ourselves. I firmly believe that. So we are unlimited, unconditional, just beings. But without further ado, allow me to introduce to you Viviene Trestrail. How are you doing, Viviene?
I'm fine, thanks. Hi, everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. I just want to say that I believe that I know that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to choose to spend a moment of your time in the history of your timeline here with me on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, I just want to extend my sincerest gratitude to you. So thank you very much for being here at this present moment. Thank you.
And Lou, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So let's just dive right into it. I read a bit about how you became a grief counselor, but give us from your own mouth, give us a little framework uh, before you became the grief counselor, if you want to share your story a bit, and
Sure.
then and
Um,
then yeah,
I was married for 35 years. I
right,
raised, actually, I was raised in Jamaica myself, so I'm Jamaican. And my husband moved to Canada, and so we migrated here and raised a family. And he was my soulmate, really. And
right,
we were together for 35 years. And then he got cancer.
mm,
He passed away. And
right,
so all our plans and our future and everything it just disappeared.
right.
It's overnight.
Mm.
Um, I was in a very bad way. Um,
I would imagine so. Right.
I
Yes.
almost wanted to die. And then just feeling sorry for yourself, but just this whole grief has so much dimensions to it. It's like a diamond with different facets. And
Mm, right.
so it's just overwhelming. And I had a really good friend who said to me, you know what? You need to start doing some self care. You need to start looking after yourself, stop feeling guilty. You can't bring Stephen back.
Mm,
But what you can do is try and live your life in a way that honors him.
mm.
And, that hit home um, really deeply. And I just started thinking about what she said, picking myself up off the ground, and started doing some work on myself, some self care, just like she said. Then two of us started communicating because she had been through very similar situations. She lost her husband too. She
Oh,
was one,
wow.
and
So
just
you
the
two, excuse me, Vivienne, I might pop in every now and then, but please don't lose your train of thought because I want to hear this. I think this is very uh, powerful. It's very necessary because there's others out there that need to hear this, and that has been through similar things. I happen to know one person right now that I am definitely going to send this to once it's edited because she went through the same thing. I won't say her name, but yes, my wife and I know exactly who she is. She's a close friend of ours, and she needs to hear this. But yes, yes, go ahead. I just there was something else I was going to say, but I got in front of myself and lost it. It'll come back, but go ahead.
yes, and it's just like you form a community because when you lose someone, it's as if you speak another language.
Right.
Um, No one
Oh,
is
I know what
saying,
I was going to say. I apologize. You had the good thing that I see thus far and then continue on is that you had a friend who went through similar things, unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time, because it was a support system for you both.
and she just gave me some good tips, and we were able to communicate in a way that she understood me. She just read me, and I was able to have a safe space, express myself really well with her, and just I call it crazy talk. Just being
Right,
able to have your hair down and just speak freely. Because
right,
when you someone a lot of time, your loved ones, and they mean well, you
mm,
know, but they think you're pitying yourself,
right.
you just self-focus. They don't recognize that part of healing is really talking. And to
Yes,
them, it seems
I
like you're
agree.
negative. So when I found someone that understood me, it was just beautiful, because then you're able to heal. You're able to say things, and you're you're able to maneuver the different feelings that come along. And so then I decided, I wanted to write a book,
Mm.
and
About this
about
particular. Oh,
about
wow. Okay. Let's. Okay.
women through this, because I've seen how in my own life it's impacted me. And I thought, there's a lot of women that could go get help, because it's impacted their lives. People don't realize when you lose a loved one, there's so many other losses come along
Right.
with it. The loss of a lifestyle, the loss
Mm,
of an economic
right.
status. You know,
Right. Support system. Yes.
changing house means changing our whole life. Um, Also, you lose friends, and the dynamics change, because you were a couple,
Right.
but now you are single.
Right.
Sorry about that.
No, you know what? That is perfectly fine because I pride myself on my podcast being connected with real life. So if you have a pet that comes by, there's several shows where I've had people introduce their pet, and it's nothing. There's nothing wrong. Everything to me that unfolds, it's meant to happen. So your family is very important, and that is totally fine. And I really mean that.
I was on the train of losses, and so yeah, and so you even lose good friends, and it's
Right.
due to they don't understand you anymore. And my course was designed with all these things in mind: how to help navigate the different emotions,
Right.
the tools you also need, such as self-care, mindfulness, meditation, eating properly, sleeping properly. All these things help you get through grief, and doing it more in a constructive way rather than a destructive way. Because certainly you could turn to destructive things to deal with grief. And I
Yes, you can. Yes.
have women in my life who have lost a mate, and they just live in fear.
Mm,
Um, Especially one lady that I know right now. She's in her 80s, and she will not leave home. She should have seen a therapist
right.
or have a coach like myself. And
Good.
everything you go through is quite natural, like the grieving process, the isolation, the not wanting to communicate, all these things. If somebody had told me that these are natural feelings and natural things that you go through, it would have
Right.
meant so much to me.
Right.
So just being able to tell my clients, I have a view, just it's natural. What you're going through is a process, but you'll
Mm,
get to the other side. And healing takes time. Grief
right.
has closure, unfortunately.
Right.
Decide to choose another path. That's what it
Mm.
comes.
Yes, and and thank you for being vulnerable and sort of revisiting, that. But that is part of who you are now. And through this is your superpower now because you're able to help others as well. And I think that's therapy for you to be able to help others. And in my perspective, maybe not in your case, or maybe in your case, I don't think something like that you ever totally recover from, because it's always going to be there, but you find ways to be stronger, to live with it, you know, and to navigate through, because you're never going to forget. There's no way. That was 35 years of your life experience. You're not going to forget that. We have things that we encounter just for a shorter period than that, and it still has an impact on our life for the rest of our lives. So I don't, I wouldn't imagine that one could ever totally heal from something like that, but heal enough that you can move forward and possibly help other people as well be able to still um, move forward as well.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to ask you, so can you share with us at least a couple of things that help you get out of that dark place, or do they have to get the book to find that out?
Well, I decided not to write the book. Maybe
Oh,
later, but I did
okay,
a
okay,
course. And so my course is, you can join it and have me as a one-to-one coach. It's 12 weeks.
okay.
Just goes through the different stages of grief. Um, Also the self-care, and towards the end is planning for the future, something that when you lose a mate you no longer do. You seem to be stuck, you no longer plan for the future. It's as if it's it's a way of describing where you feel guilty. You think,
Yes,
my partner is no longer alive, so I don't need to live,
right.
these plans. But as I mentioned, and my friend had mentioned to me, it's a part of honoring the one you love by moving forward. You'll never,
Yes.
like you
Yes,
said,
because and excuse me again, but if this is my perspective. If the person that you were with really loved you and cared for you, they wouldn't want your life to stop because they're gone. You know, they want you to be happy, and they know they will obviously know that you will experience some pain and grief, but they I'm sure if they could speak to us, they would say to get up and live and thrive and be happy. They would want that for you, you know. So yes, and it's kind of hard for us, I'm sure. And I'm not speaking from that place, so it's probably easier for me to say it. But you know, yes, I would think that, our significant other, or those that have left us behind, left this physical realm, would want us to be happy, not miserable, not stay in misery, to be happy. They would want us to be happy. Yes.
part of the course is also, I couldn't have done this without spirituality,
Mm,
prayer,
right,
recognizing that there is a God out there who
right,
wants to keep living, and will give us the strength to move forward. So I
right.
do include that in my program. um, Not forcing spirituality but encouraging it, because with this sort of trauma
Mm,
really need help to get through it. And it's the healing.
absolutely.
It's never a healing, but you choose a different path. You
Right,
choose to live your life or use your life as a gift.
right. Yes, yes. Amazing. And I totally agree. Um, Can you share, or would you mind sharing, how has this impacted you in regard to, so how long ago did this happen?
This happened 2016. My husband.
Oh, wow.
So
How
I
how has it impacted you? And I'm just asking this question because I'm sure this is something that has come into my mind, and I think I can imagine other ladies that have experienced this would want to know this. Okay. How has it impacted you in regards to being able to possibly date someone else? Has it Has it totally cut that off, or what has happened?
And this is exactly the point. Like, you will never fill that hole that you
Right,
had with the original mate. So that belongs to him.
right.
But you can decide to love someone else in a different way.
Yes.
Start
Yeah.
out,
Yes.
and you will eventually be able to be happy again
Mm,
in a different way. And so
right.
the road is not all sadness, and part of my course is really learning gratitude, because I find gratitude and appreciation, these things really help you to not be self-focused, because we tend to be self-focused when we lose our mate or when we're in grief. But if
Right.
we're givers, start serving others, start thinking about others, not
Right.
just yourself. It will really help you to heal. So at times when I feel like I just can't move forward,
Mm,
I'm thinking, who could I go and help? Who could I give some flowers to or cheer somebody up today?
right.
And it gets me out of this funk. Or
Mm,
is there something that I need to, because emotions are there for a reason, Lou. They're there to tell
absolutely. Absolutely.
what's missing in our life, what needs to change, and what we need to do. And so there are times you just have to sit in the uncomfortable, which most men don't want to do. So my program isn't really designed for men because they grieve
No, that
differently.
is totally fine. No, no. That I am so thankful that for the uh individuals that have specialized gender specialized programs. That in no way deters me from wanting them to be on this podcast, because I think all elements are important. Whether it's gender specific or whether it's for everybody, it's all empowering. It's all under the umbrella of personal development, self-help, self-empowerment, and I'm all in. I want to hear.
Later on, I won't go reach out to men, but
Right,
they do. Men tend to move on quickly, and women
right.
tend to sit really in their grief. And
Mm,
if it's a
wow.
cultural difference, or because many women are caretakers, sometimes we're the breadwinners, and so it takes us a little bit longer, but
Nurturers in general too. Nurturers. That's just in my perspectives, in a woman's nature. You really get emotionally bonded. You know, I feel a lot more than men do. Um, and that's why you guys are, you not guys, but you women, you queens are, you love at it on a deeper level. And I think it's because of that. You're naturally childbearing, and so yes, you apply that to people you love, and you want to nurture them in almost like a motherly way. And it's hard to break that bond than for a man.
so yeah, and so the my program really, I've had some good results from these
Right.
women with, and they're fascinated by it because I do provide worksheets. They're doing the work. They really
Right.
are. Yeah.
Do you have a name for your program?
My program is Navigating Women Through Grief. And so
Navigating women through grief. Okay, and while we're on that, how can uh, anyone find this program, find you, any of your links? Can you audibly share it with us right now?
and there's my phone number. I'm right now setting up my website and my
Okay,
landing. And in June, I'm having a master class,
okay,
and it's called Grief.
okay.
And I came up with an acronym for grief. Really, G for the gift of life, R for recreating memories, E for embracing our emotions, I intentional actions, and F fostering growth. And so that's what my program does for these women.
So do you have links now that I can share that people can find you?
I
Or it's,
have it.
or it's just your phone number right now, or
Well,
email?
Trestrail at hotmail.com.
Okay,
And my phone number is on my Instagram and my LinkedIn page.
Okay. That's
Facebook
amazing.
also. And it's called Soul Shift.
Soul shift. All right. Yes. I have another question that I'd like to ask you. Just your perspective. Now, I know that you're not a doctor or anything like that, but you are very connected to this particular modality, which is grief after loss of a husband, a soulmate, a significant other. So I want to ask your opinion if you can. If not, you decide I don't really know or don't have an opinion on it, then that's fine. But I want to ask you, what do you think? Do you think it is okay that after a woman has suffered loss and she starts dating again, do you think that man that she's dating should be open to hear her still talk about her loss? Should he be supportive of that, or should that be something she doesn't do in your perspective?
My perspective, in my opinion, she should be able to talk about that loss because
Yes, I
connect,
agree. But go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear more from you.
it, it will connect both of them together. They'll become
Right.
more because it will help him to understand also where she's coming from. If she's never able to talk about that person, she'll constantly, right now, I deal with a woman who can't because he's very jealous of the memory. And
Please
she,
share that, because the person that I want to share this with, similar circumstances. The man is jealous of the memory and she can't bring that up. And my wife has not really, we can only give opinions and not really trying to control anyone or mess up someone's relationship, but at the same time, when you care for someone and you see some red flags in your perspective, you're going to tell that friend. And what has been relayed is that that's not right. And what, even from my perspective, is, and then I want you to continue because I want to hear your perspective, but I'm just sharing with you. I even said to my wife, if I was in that scenario, I would allow that because I think that that would make her feel more connected with me, being able to share that, and that I'm embracing that, and being that person that she's able to cry on and honor the memory of, you know, the person she was once with that was cut short. It's not like you were with someone and you broke up and they're still alive. So that's a whole different thing. But you're moving on. I would be honored that I'm the person that you decided to move on with after suffering such a tremendous, tragic loss. So I would feel not only obligated but honored for you to be able to share that with me, and would want to ask you questions, so to help you. But go ahead. You have a friend that's going through that too, and what
yeah,
yeah, what are you saying?
said to me, because she was asking me if I am open to remarrying, and I said yes. But the bottom line is, I would have to communicate with this person that I need to talk about my deceased husband. This will be part of our marriage. I
Mm.
cannot not share the memories. And he doesn't need to get jealous because he already has a part of me also that my husband didn't have, because it's a new love. It's a different love, but
Right,
it's still love. And she
right.
said, "Oh, I wish I did that because she said to me, it's not cracked up what it looks like because I am so alone in this marriage."
Mm,
She said, because I can't speak about my late husband.
right. And
How
I
much
agree with something. And I know I don't really want to use the words you should have, but that's actually showing that. And I'm speaking to everyone that's listening, including myself. Whenever you get into something, put everything out there, how you feel right there. Set that precedence so that later, you know, like in her particular situation, the partner that she has is already used to it being that way where she doesn't talk and it's suppressed. So it's already set up that way. So it's going to be that much harder to break that. It's going to be, yeah, that much difficult. But if in the beginning, before, they took those steps, hey, I'm just letting you know this is my boundary. This is what is going to happen. If you cannot deal with it, then we can't go forward. There's no way, because this is I'm not going to suffer because of someone's jealousy or whatever. So yes, I totally agree with you,
This was one
Vivine.
of she's like, I'm so happy about this safe space because I can speak about things and which she can't do at home, which is so, I said to her, that is so sad.
Right,
And my program is teaching women how to communicate,
right,
because you have to learn to communicate. People aren't mind readers. So if you're feeling in a funk, if you feel where you're going someplace where it's going to be a trigger, well, you
right.
need to let someone know, listen, this is how it is. This particular concert or this play or this restaurant might be a trigger. I don't know how I'm going to react. I might walk out of the restaurant. There are different scenarios that might happen, but I'm preparing you ahead of time. So it,
Communication. Mm,
communication is very important, and self-care too is very important. I'm dealing with an 80-year-old as a client, and she's so sweet. And she said to me, she's 80, and she said, for the first time, Lou, she said, for the first time in my life, I actually thought about me. She said, I was feeling so horrible. And normally I would be like doing things for other people. But because of your program, I said to myself, I'm thinking about me today. I'm going to do some self care. I'm going to do some cooking, something that I love to do. And she said, I spent the day cooking. And she said, I felt so good. And she thanked me because she said, I've never thought about myself in 80 years. And I thought, I'm going to write that down. And I said, I hope you're going to write that down as testimony for me, because she said, no. And she said, it was all because of your program. So
oh, wow.
I am really proud of my program, because with these 5 clients that I have, so many things they've said that they've never thought about, and it's helped them. And so I'm hoping more women will have the courage, because it does take courage, and
Right.
it's very painful. Like I tell my clients, first, you might not want to see me again because
Mm,
we're going to open up so many wounds.
right, right,
And it's when you lose someone you love, if you haven't taken care of other business in your life, it's
right.
like a funnel. So it opens up other wounds that you
Mm,
have not taken care of, and it forces you to take care of them. So it's very painful
right,
at first. And so I warn my clients about this, because it's not easy going through these emotions and feeling these emotional pains, but you
right.
have to look after them. It's no different if you get a cut, right? You go to the hospital, you get it stitched. It's no different to our emotional traumas. If we don't look after them, they come out. Mine was coming out where I was passive aggressive with my friends. I was angry all the time. I was not, I don't think I was even having a shower, to be honest.
Oh,
It was,
wow. That's not good.
no. And my daughter said, you got to do something. You have to
Yes.
be a therapist or do something, because you're
Right.
not handling it properly.
Yes. In my perspective, the best therapists, I'm just putting a title on it, but people that help other people are people that have actually went through what they're passionate about helping others get through, or going through, even still actively going through it. I think, people mistake therapists or those that are here to help, that they have it all and they're at their finish line. And no, no, I've even encountered therapists that say that they seek therapy as well. And that right there is a plus for me, because I would rather deal with someone that at that's trying to help me, that really uh are transparent, that they still have things that they're working on, than somebody that tries to come across as they're looking down on me and they're perfect and they got it all right. No, that doesn't resonate with me. Now, for some people, maybe it might, and I'm not putting anyone down. I'm just saying, for me, I would prefer to seek out someone like yourself who has been through that and is still growing through it now.
That's right. And sometimes when we see a psychologist or a therapist, like you said, it's like keeping you there for years,
Right.
trying to get you going and to use the tools in my program to help you cope through the
Mhm.
grief, because it's a journey that will never end.
Right. That's, see, exactly what I said, that healing journey is never going to end, especially with something like that. Things that impact us, that especially in both ways. They impact us emotionally. It could be in a happy way or a sad way. Those things are with us. They get embedded in our minds, in our cells, in our DNA, and they don't go away. You just figure out better ways to, like you said, cope with them and move forward and grow, and different perspectives. And that's all we can do. And that's
Absolutely.
amazing. Yes. So yes, I just want to thank you again, Vivienne. If there's anything else you would like to say before we conclude this segment, feel free. If there's any last words, or encouragement, or just anything you want to tell, um, especially the women, feel free.
Yeah, I just want to say that to the women out there, that my heart goes out to you. I know exactly what you're going through. I've been there, and it takes courage to just seek help. It's nothing to be ashamed of. We all need a helping hand in life. And grief is a normal response to how you're feeling. There's nothing abnormal about you. I wish somebody had told me those words, that every step of the way, what you're feeling is natural. Because no one ever tells you that when you lose your soulmate, there are these um, emotions that flood in, that overwhelm you, such as anger, guilt, bargaining, wishing that you could do things differently. If I could, I should have. All those emotions are useless. They don't help us to move forward. They just make us stuck. And if you're feeling isolated, it's quite normal. Just reach out to someone, talk to someone, and especially people that speak your language.
Mm.
When you do form, and I'm trying to right now get a community going, and my masterclass, I'm hoping to have a community going where we can share our feelings. We can have a safe space, a non-judgmental space where we're not being judged. We can say what we truly are feeling inside without ever being judged. Because most of the time when you're in grief, that's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of being judged, or thinking that you're begging for pity, or you're just. But all these things are quite normal. So my space is safe.
Yes, thank you, Vivienne. That was beautiful and very heartfelt. Even though I'm not one of the women that you are reaching out to, I can totally feel your energy and your just strength and courage. And thank you very much for bringing value and being who you are, and being the courageous, strong woman that you are, that is still on the healing journey and willing to help others get through their healing journey as well. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And it was a pleasure to speak with you today. And also, I want to say thank you, everyone, for watching and or listening. I appreciate you as always. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Also, leave comments, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this. Help the platform grow. Also, help, get these amazing messages and dialogues out there to help elevate and educate and awaken humanity. I appreciate you. Until next time, love and appreciation, enlightened, empowered, evolved. See you soon.